negativity of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they want the title. They want the title without the responsibility.
Exactly. So make it make sense.
Got you, Black. Got you. Kylo,
So
you up next, brother.
if you
How
want
you
to hold
doing?
that title,
Oh, okay.
then yes, we are slut makers.
Okay. Okay. So making the rest is no. Okay, Kylo, you up next, brother. It's on you.
Um, can you guys even hear me?
Yeah, we hear
Yeah,
you, man.
got you, bro.
Just
Can you
creeping
hear
me
me at
out.
all?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Seeing you.
Great. So you kind of creepy over there, looking like.
All right, so
Mm.
I'm gonna wind up. I'm like a gradient right now. I'm gonna wind up. I'm gonna wind up leaving out and coming back in on my phone because something's going on with my computer. But I'm gonna answer the question though. Are men slut makers? You know, that's real interesting because I mean we all pull from the world, right? We all pull from our experiences. So men have our experiences. It's almost like which one came first, the chicken or the egg? It's like a hard thing to kind of say. So it's kind of like there's some men that's been hurt by women that kind of became players, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But some men is how you internalize it. Some men never gave up and still treated women like with respect. And some men said, you know what, I'm treating them all like hoes. Some women could have went through some stuff with some guys or whatever and could have said, well, it's not every man. Could have bypassed it and still gave the next man respect. And some women actually gave into what was happening and said, I'm going to get something out of it. And so she became a hoe. It's not we're automatic homemakers. It's to the individual. Long story short.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate the chime in, man. Salute. Conrad, you up next?
Yeah, what's going on? Are we the homemakers? No. Do we enable? Can we enable? For sure. And I think that's where a majority of men have fallen into. But especially in this generation, more than all, it's pay to play. So if there is something for her to get out of it, what we see probably within our neighborhoods and definitely on the social media sphere, if you're willing to play, if you're willing to pay as a guy, they're willing to play. And so whose fault is it? Well, you have to look at the person who ultimately controls access. If I can only plug my controller in and play and press player 1, 2, 3, or 4, I can't be held accountable if the game gives me access.
Appreciate the chime in. Appreciate the chime in. Uncle Rick, salute, man. Welcome to the panel, man. Hope all is well. And elaborate and chime in on anything you heard so far and answer our initial question about responsibility for us as men.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are y'all doing?
All right.
You made it through another week, man. You halfway there. Men don't make holes. It's in a hole. It's not on her. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Do we partake? Yes, we will. We will partake. But responsible? No. No, a hoe gon' hoe. Right? It's a saying that goes around, right? Don't ever make a hoe a housewife. Right? And the reason why is because when shit get bad, it's like a boxer, right? You know, y'all ever heard of the term everybody got a plan till they hit in the face, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's a hoe, right? You try to make a housewife, you can give everything, but when she go back to her baseline, she's gonna hoe. Right? When shit gets hard, she's gonna hoe. It doesn't matter how good you treat her. It doesn't matter how much you're gonna respect her. It doesn't matter what you put in front of her to build her up as a woman. That hoe gonna hoe. So I got a question for the panel, right? If we responsible for making girls hoes, are women responsible for making dudes simps?
Yeah.
Like I said before, it's a double standard. It's like it's gonna be one dipping into the other.
Right. Because you head out there with simps, aka F boys. That's where they come from treating a woman nice all the time, and in the same breath, the women keep crapping on them all the time. So in a man mind, it done flipped already. F these hoes off rip. You're gonna get this. If I give you this, and that's what it's gonna be. That's when a man real pimp hands start to come out, because that's the way they took them. That's the way their mind flipped. You be nice to a woman, it's cool. That's what you want to do. That's what you're supposed to do. But women don't take it as nice. Niggas, women take it to an advantage.
No, a woman would take it as nice. A hoe gonna treat it like it's trash.
That's fair.
You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah.
I mean, so for me, when I hear the conversation and everybody's chiming so far, I think it's a problem with the wording. I think we do contribute to, I think we do enable, some people make excuses for, but I don't know if that's a word that I'm willing to accept, because again, responsibility for another grown person's actions, I don't know if I can accept that. Like, I do inspire, I do contribute, I may enable, you know what I mean? But I don't know if I'm responsible for this grown person's behavior and the choices that they make. What do you guys think about that?
Nah, that's true.
Exactly.
But the accountability, like for example, I use me for example. So the accountability lays on me. If I'm dating, talking to, quote unquote, we'll use Uncle Rick said the whole of 304, right? And I'm still engaging, that's on me at that point. But now it becomes if that person's still using me or still giving, then somebody at that point got to say, okay, where's the boundary set? Where's the line do I or that person draw? But if nobody's not drawing no lines, the quote unquote, like Uncle Rick said, the hoe gonna still be a hoe, and I'm gonna still be a simp, what Severe was saying, and then the cycle gonna keep continuing. Now, when somebody breaks that, simp is gonna be like, okay, now I'm on the hate train, like F all these hoes, they all hoes, something like that, and vice versa with the women. It's just an ongoing circle. I do agree it's the term of it. I think it comes to the people themselves, like you got to self-identify. If you cannot self-identify what's going on with you and that person you're dealing with, it becomes a problem.
But like Uncle Rick said, at the end of the day, that person's got to take like the hoe gon' hoe.
You got
I remember I saw a situation where two guys exposed to a bunch of guys this girl was on a thing. At lunchtime, took those two guys back. Now, all the guys that those brothers told followed through. This girl, I saw this girl go through the action and walk in the house with everybody looking at her and walk out the house. Now, whether or not she went through everybody, the fact of the matter is she still did what she was going to do. And there was no pressure. And she walked out there and still looking at everybody like, hey, how's everything going? So we as men, like I said, if we're not told, plug in the controller. How are you going to plug in the controller? If you're not given the access, how are you going to do that? I'll let my play.
No, I hear that point, but let me ask you a question. What's your intentions with that game? You trying to win the game?
I don't know about winning. I don't know about winning because
when I listen to all of the information coming at us with this conversation right now, I think about the argument the ladies are not making is that what's your intentions with this lady? I think what makes her a hoe is when we sleep with them and leave them.
Facts.
You had no intentions on being with them.
Negative.
So
negative.
Okay, Uncle Rick, help me out, bro.
I disagree. Right? Because again, now let me first validate your point, because your point, if everything was right in the world, makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Right. But again, if we're talking about responsibilities, right? This woman wasn't supposed to let me lay down with her until she has a commitment from me. Right? Is that her responsibility or mine? Is her body my responsibility or hers? Right? Because what makes her a hoe is she letting me fuck for whatever reason besides marriage, right?
Mm-hmm. And
right?
Rick,
Is
I got,
that the agreement we have or not?
yeah, but Rick, I got a
No, I
question
agree
with
with that.
I got a
Yeah.
question
Yeah.
with that. Hold on. So if that's the case, then so what about the guys? Because most guys like to manipulate, like homeboy said, the hunter. We're like, oh, Bino, we hunters. So if we hunters, we going for the box, just only the box. We're not going for relationship. So then when you get with that girl, you lying to her, saying other sweet things, saying everything she need to hear. Then when you smash it and you come back, they go to the homies. Hey, Rick, yo, I got this bad hoe, man. She's a bad hoe. So now she a hoe. Because I ran game on her because I said everything I wanted to say to her just to get the draws.
Well, let me say, I don't like how you tried to
It-
utilize what I said to make your point, because that's not what I meant by hunter. You could be hunting for a wife. You know what I'm saying? You could
You
be
didn't
hunting for a
elaborate
friend.
hunter or wife. You just said hunts. I didn't know what you meant by that.
But then ask the question. You know what I'm saying? Ask the question. Don't just make an assumption to make your point or whatnot. A hunter is you go out and seek for a woman. Whatever you choose for that woman to be, it could just be a friend. We have to initiate the contact in most cases. Women aren't looking for us. They're hoping they get found. So that's why I said that the man is the hunter.
Okay, so individually, men hunt for individual reasons. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But at the end of the day, if let's use me for example, if I sleep with a woman and that's it, that doesn't make her a hoe. That just makes her a woman I slept with. Now, if I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna sleep with this woman, and then I'm gonna bring a couple of homeboys and I'm gonna talk her into doing that, that's a whole different story. But if I sleep with that one woman, that doesn't make her a hoe. If I go on to the next woman and sleep with the next woman, that doesn't make her a hoe. And like the dude in the video said, that makes me a slut maker. No, that doesn't make me a slut maker. That just makes me a man that's sleeping with a couple of women. I can't turn all those women into sluts because I'm sleeping with all of them. That might be me being a slut. I can't put that on her.
Y'all are playing a lot of fucking games up
Yes,
here.
sir.
Word, salad,
Thank you, sir.
yada yada, woo doo woo. Who sleeps with women? Men or women? Who sleeps
Men.
with a woman?
Man.
Man.
And some good
Man.
hot lesbians. Some good hot
Okay,
lesbians.
so
And good
by
hot lesbians, sir.
definition,
Let's not forget the
men
lesbians. Let's not forget
sleep
the
with
lesbians.
women,
And hot
right?
lesbians.
I mean, like, why is y'all saying all this word salad shit up here?
Damn.
Like, with men, we're supposed to sleep with women.
That's what
So
I'm
the
saying.
only way a woman can be a slut is she sleep with a lot of men, right?
This is what
That's what I was about to.
But does she
piggyback
make the
off.
decision after the
Like,
first
that
guy?
case closed.
Because-
Like, what is y'all talking about?
It's not.
But
the fact
one
that
guy
you-
won't make a woman a hoe. One
Yeah.
guy does not make. It's the continued action of opening her legs
right
to
there.
multiple men.
Okay.
Let's say in a finite amount of time, day, minute, week, hour, month. It's her ability to say, I'm enjoying this, and make it worse, as we said about the simps. Let me see who I can trick. So now she actually becomes the pimp and the hoe all at the same time,
Yes,
because
sir.
she knows what she has is going to make somebody. It might not make Black, it might not make Uncle Rick, it might not make me, but it's going to make somebody flip a dime. And once that dime gets flipped and she says, oh, she's going to keep on doing what she's doing as long as she can do it to who she's doing it to. And she knows who to go for. It might not be Uncle Rick. It might not be me, but it's definitely going to be some other guy. So
I
now
would
she
argue-
isn't.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I was done.
I would argue to that sentiment. Really, I can still flip that on you. Like, the only way she
Bruh.
will have that mindset is because of the simp. Because
you
of
didn't.
the simp. So
No, she
technically, so
No,
hold
no,
on,
no,
hold
no.
on. So,
I got
hold
you.
on. So technically, it's still the same sentiment, because in order for her to keep enjoying it, is because a whole bunch of simps is giving her this A, B, C, D, whatever.
But I
So
left.
technically, it's still the same thing. Put
I
from a
left.
different standpoint.
She is conceding on the behavior. She got an
Correct.
experience and it turned her into a fiend. And based on her becoming a fiend, she decided to chase that from now multiple users. Not me, because she's not coming back to me and say, you Conrad, I'm fiending for you. I got an affinity for you and I just want you. No, that's lust. When
Yeah,
we
but
start taking our lust and we turn it to everybody, that
Well,
is a
that's-
hoe.
It's not even.
Can I-
No. Hold on.
Let me get this. Go ahead, bro.
It doesn't have to be everybody. Look, this is what I'm saying, right? And if we keeping it a being, it's not really the action. The action is really just the defining factor. It's her mentality as a woman, right? It's not as a female. That's correct, right? If we want to be real specific about words, right? It's her attitude as a female. Now, so I got to use today because a lot of these women who claim they go through the things that their mothers and their grandmothers went through never went through it. What made them hoes? You see what I'm saying? Exactly. It's a mentality, right? These women are being brought up to understand that a relationship is strictly transactional, that the relationship that her being a hoe or 3 or 4 is more rewarding than being a wife.
Facts.
Yeah, but who's the cause of that? She has to have a mindset from. She has to get that mindset from somewhere.
Her mother and her grandmother.
She got it from Simps.
There's always going to be a Samson somewhere.
Hey,
Kylo. Yeah, go ahead, Kylo. Get in there.
All right, so I'm gonna say something real quick. So to understand what we calling a hoe, I remember Tariq Nasheed said that there's 3 different types of men. There's a player, there's a pimp, and there's a Mac. And to understand all 3 of them is real quickly, a player is somebody he's just only considering getting some tail, getting some ass. 100%. Not into monetary gain. A player is just wants as much as he possibly can get. A Mac wants ass and gifts. He wants ass, but he wants some things. He wants some type of monetary prizes and gifts, you know what I'm saying? But a pimp don't have no interest in no sexual nothing. He only wants the money, 100%. So for like people get out of context when they talk about hoes and pimps, you know what I'm saying? Like, so to understand a hoe is to understand why there's 3 different types of men, there's 3 different types of women. Some women are manufactured by men to become promiscuous for money. Some women are manufactured by women, give it an auntie, a girlfriend, society, where we have the social media. But a lot of this is like it's manufactured from both situations. Don't nobody if anybody on the panel ever sold drugs, that's kind of like saying, well, what makes a drug dealer? What makes a drug dealer sometimes could be desperation, influence, what's readily available to you. It's not no one particular type of way. I'm hearing y'all talk, and I'm having some technical difficulties over here, burning inside. But like a woman, I know, and I don't want to. It's not cool because I got a lot of people watching, so I can't really say another part of my life. But I will say this: men can make women hoes, 100%, but it's not necessary because some people can be convinced to come over to a life, and I mean it takes some work, and somebody could just say one thing like, "Hey, come over here and mess with me," and somebody will mess with them, and there's already been some pre-stuff going on with that woman already. And the only thing you doing is enable. I think I forgot the brother name, but this way towards me, two words over. He was saying that sometimes a woman is I forgot exactly what he said, but long story short, we can't just bundle it all up and say like men. I think the topic was, does men make women hoes? The answer is we actually, no matter which side you want to take, the answer is yes and no. So y'all can actually keep debating all night long.
Correct.
It's just like one of those things where it's a lot of different points that makes that person go over. And that's it. I land that on that.
That's like saying, can you put this ham on a sandwich and eat it? Yes and no. Like it has to have balance.
Sir, this is not food. These are women.
Nothing is.
These are women, sir. These are women.
Say what?
These are women. These not ham sandwiches. Shout out to Brad.
It's an analogy though, y'all.
Shout out to
it's
Brad.
an analogy, bro. Like, come on, let's be serious now. It's like nothing is.
You mentioned ham sandwiches. I'm sorry. I was hungry for a minute. My bad. Go ahead. I apologize.
Nothing in life is 50-50, bro. Like it's either something is or something isn't.
Okay.
So nothing in life is, everything is, you said nothing, everything's not 50-50 when it comes to this?
Majority.
Okay.
Majority.
So nobody got no sisters, no aunties, nothing like that. And the situation that came to them where the relationship just fucked them over. And they're like, you know what? Screw men. Or even us men, period. We had moments in our life where a woman, just one or another woman, we just had a pattern of like women like, damn, maybe it's the women, and some may be like, it's not even me. They'll just put it on women. Maybe it's the women. So none of that happened before in our lives. Nothing like that happened in our life at all.
We always got hurt. I mean, we experience pain and heartbreak like anybody else. But the point is, with men, to me, you either gonna do a couple of things. You either gonna sulk, simp, go back to it, or get your mind right, get your money up. You know the rules. But with women, they're cutting their hair off, they're bleaching it, they're cutting off men and everything else in the world.
I'll give you this from my past life. You have a situation where you have strippers that won't sell, and I mean will not sell their body. They'll sell their body as far as the club, but will not sell their body on the street. Then you have so-called streetwalkers who feel like going in the club and dancing is a waste of time. You know what I'm saying? So, but we'll all call them all hoes.
But they all hoes.
But we call them all hoes. But
They are.
Us, I'm just saying it's different amongst the men. It's different layers to it.
It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. We're men and they're women. We're different. I understand that.
And that goes back to what I was saying.
What I'm saying is again, look, man. If we're responsible, and my bro already know how I feel about this, then we got to start having different conversations, right? If we're responsible for everything the woman does, we need to have this argument and the war on sex and the sex war and all that shit. It shouldn't exist, because if we're responsible, that means there's a hierarchy that exists, right? So just keeping it a being, not to try to get the channel banned, and somebody need to start getting their head going upside. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So like I said, let's say we're responsible. Fine, I'll take it. Right, I'll eat it. I got a wife. You know what I'm saying? I take care of her. I understand. She my hoe. I'm her trick. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So, but how can we be responsible for anything? Hoes, wives, daughters, sons, when nobody has to listen to the person that's responsible?
Especially in this day and time.
Right.
There was the whole Me Too movement, this modern move of feminism has pushed it to where, like, what are we really going to say without being capsized? With whether it's in the home or even on our job. Like, think about it. We're all talking about this right here, right now. Somebody could clip this and be like, yo, Conrad thinks that women just be doing this to themselves. My boss could be like, well, we don't align with that, Conrad. And so goodbye. It's just like, what? So right. I'm saying that to say this is that we're not in a position in this day and time to have complete autonomy, whether we can shut down the action or even the thought that could lead to the action based on how a woman's feeling tomorrow morning.
And that's how they live their life, on feelings day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour.
Right. So what are we saying, right? Are we saying that women are grown and or females are grown and they're their own autonomous creature, right? And no matter what decision they make, they're their own autonomous creature. No matter what decision they make, it's influenced or manipulated or convinced by the man, or they just do shit that they want to do. A hoe want to be a hoe.
And how it's like saying somebody. That's like saying a woman going to rob a bank, but it's his fault. They robbed the bank, but it's your fault.
You don't make her no hoe.
Hey, how many banks I can get away with robbing though? How many banks I get away robbing though?
Just like the brother just said about the so-called, I mean, a stripper's a hoe too. I don't care what nobody say. You selling your body for money, you're a whore. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, it's just some things that some people won't do, right? As a man, it's some shit that I'm not gonna do. I don't give a fuck how much money excuse my language, I don't give a care how much money you put in front of me. I'm not gonna do it, right? So if this woman, for whatever reason, right, whether it's attention, sexual satisfaction, money, clothes, she getting flowed out and get to go to Smith and Walensky's for free, whatever. You see what I'm saying? It's a choice she made.
Okay, so let me ask you this: if it's a choice she made, is it fair to say that she gets this mindset from somewhere? Because like it ain't just like she woke up one day and be like, "Nah, I'm finna be a hoe."
It
It
could be a
has to
comment.
build up, right?
Yeah, true. It could be a combination.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, but I'm asking you, this guy
Uncle
right
Rick?
here.
Rick,
So
Uncle Rick?
it's a build up, right? To get this mindset right.
Yeah, it's
So
definitely.
no, not you. The
Oh, okay.
Hey, I'm
Uncle
sorry,
Rick.
I forgot your name, bro.
Uncle Rick.
Rick, it's Rick.
Oh, Rick. Yeah, Rick.
Mhm.
So she got this mindset from somewhere, right?
That's fair, correct.
Besides men, please tell me where she can build this mindset from. With men out of the picture.
The women.
No, you know what? Can I say something real quick? We could just stop. Listen,
That's a relevant question. That don't even make
What
sense.
is-
So we just throwing women out and just.
That don't make no sense. It's a very straightforward question.
it's probably women that actually play more part in a woman becoming a hoe. Unless somebody is an actual pimp, men don't actually have influence on a woman actually becoming a hoe. Do you know what I'm saying? It's actually probably more of any of her peers. When we talking about, because I don't know what type of hoe we talking about a promiscuous woman, somebody just screwing to be screwing, or a woman that's screwing for money. Because when I think about a hoe, I'm thinking about
hoe's a hoe.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Well, let's elaborate on that after we hear from Great Pill and get to these super chats and see if Sis is okay back there. Great Pill, I want to hear from you though, man. You've been sitting up there patiently, man. What you got?
Not really. I've been checking in, throwing jabs, but no, because he pretty much the question he made was like a what if question, like what it should coulda. Those scenarios don't exist unless it's on an individual. If the quote unquote hoe or the woman had no man in her life, then of course the environment around her going to subject her to become that hoe that we all just agreed on earlier. She's going to be that hoe. It's going to be a consistent pattern that she's going to be running around doing what she want to do all day, every day. But again, if a woman has the man in her life or men, brothers, uncles, whatever, and society, school, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't necessarily going to mean that woman going to make the choice to automatically be a hoe because you deem it so. It doesn't work like that. It's situations, is whatever's problems going on in that person's life. It could be the guy that's in there effing with her 24/7. It could be that guy, and she say, you know what? And her dull, delusional mind can say, hey, you know what? Every man I see, they're always disrespecting me, so therefore I'm going to hurt them too. The same way the other man, that's what you mentioned earlier about the simp mentality. A guy going to keep getting simped to say, you know what? A switch flipped off, and he could just go off and just say, you know what? All women are bitches, and he's just going to do that too. It's not all one-sided. That's the problem with a lot of people with that type of thinking. You got to think, like I said, you got to be on yourself with accountability. It got to be on yourself. But if you're not seeing that, then it becomes a problem. Now, if you seeing that hoe from afar, and it doesn't phase Rick, it doesn't fade Conrad, it doesn't fade Nino, and we're looking for something else with our attentions, then we're gonna see that a mile away, and we're just gonna keep it moving. Let her be a hoe somewhere else.
I hear you. Black rebuttal.
All I was saying was he's saying that's a very big question. No, it's not. I'm getting
I said it's a relevant question.
Can I finish without interruption? All right, like I was saying, I'm getting down to the very logical thing about it. I understand what Rick is saying. I understand that, but very in the fabric of what we're talking about. Okay, who put that up,
bro? Moderation, man. We got a whole moderation team over here, so you never know.
At the end of the day, what I was asking was, I asked that question to make a point. At the end of the day, it's either how a man treats a woman. She gets that from somewhere. It's like she's not waking up trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna be a hoe today. She gets the influence from majority from a man. That's all I was saying.
Okay, so we do agree. A woman wakes up, don't say I'm just gonna be a hoe tomorrow.
That's majority of the time the average woman is not doing it.
No. Okay, that's the point I want to make. Average women don't do that. I just want to make that point clear.
I'm just saying most women don't do that.
Okay, now we're dumbing it down to most. Average and most. Okay, cool.
I mean, Kylo kind of chimed in and said it's a lot of different, contingents that can go into that environment, circumstances, and so on. But I want to hear what you guys think after I read these super chats. 18 became a member today. Salute 18. Appreciate you. Hope all is well, sis. Zyrax, Untouchable Empire. Salute. She gifted 1 membership. If that membership landed on you, please maintain it. Steve O is in the building. Manners and respect, Uncle Rick. I second that motion, sir. Talks with 2K chimed in with the $4.99 super chat. Shout out to Black TV and Lipstick. What's good, panel? What's good, 2K? Hope all is well, sir. T.O. Salutes, T.O. Untouchable Empire. He said, these women are doing whatever they want to do. So how the hell are we making them hoes? Anybody?
We ain't.
Yeah,
That's
we're
facts.
not. Yeah, we're not.
RBN chimed in. Salute, RBN. Hope all is well, sir. Salute to the homies, Severe, Uncle Rick, Mr. He Said, and shout out to the host, Red Lipstick Vibe. Salute, bro. Hope all is
Shout out,
well,
TJ.
man. Member for 16 months. This is what support looks like. Salute, man. Appreciate you. You guys get like RBN, man. Become a member, support a member, like the channel, subscribe, share it with somebody, share it with Travel One, because this conversation is what she started. She wanted to know, what about the Mendo fellas? Nino, particularly. What you think about what you heard so far, and anything you want to share, sir?
Oh man, I'm just listening. But to me, I think it's a slippery slope when you hold someone else beside yourself for choices that you make accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like if the woman is choosing to sleep with multiple men, that's her problem. You know what I'm saying? It's not the men that she's sleeping with problem. That's what she's choosing to do. She can choose to only sleep with one person her whole life. She has that opportunity. I mean, I get it. Environment might influence your decisions and choices and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, it's your choice, you know? So that's all I got to really say.
The Red Lipstick put together some questions for you, gentlemen. She also got a video that she wants us to watch. I'm going to put the first question up. You guys can ponder on it. And I'm going to play a video for you guys. Is the modern woman's behavior hypersexual, rebellious, anti-family, ultimately the fault of men? God damn, I feel attacked. Shit. All right, I'm gonna share a video with you guys, and we're gonna go from there.
We now have a culture of degenerate women who are overvaluing themselves. What do I mean by this? We now have a culture of sluts, whores, and detestable females who actually think that on a scale of 1 to 10, they are a 10, when in reality, they are a 2. But because we as men have lowered our standards in women for so long, we have made 2 the new 10. So now we have these women walking around thinking that they're a black queen, a white queen, an Asian queen, or a Mexican queen, when in reality, they're a black whore, a white whore, an Asian whore, and a Mexican whore. That's our fault as men, brothers, because we praise their whorish behavior. And you want to know why? Because many men love whores.
If you want to believe in the double standard, that men can smash as many women as they like, and it should not reflect on them poorly. But you then want to turn around and say that if women have sex with multiple men, blah, 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 the more men they have sex with, their value goes down. We understand this. We know this. Now, that would be fine if it was just that, right? If it was just that, shit would be all good. The only problem is the same men that view the double standard and acknowledge the double standard want to believe that once they have decided they no longer want to partake of the festivities, that now it's supposed to be exclusive. Right? Mm-hmm. So my argument to the gentleman the other day was this. If all of the men have the mentality that in their youth, in their 20s and their 30s, they should be able to smash whoever they want, right? As many as they want. But when you turn 40 and you start looking for a wife, where are you going to pull these women from? Where are you going to pull these women from? If the consensus, okay, is that most of the guys operate in that energy. Because when I asked them, I said, so you guys are saying that body count don't matter when you just smash it. And it was like, yeah, that's what we're saying. So if the majority of the guys, right, and they already admitted to me, you know what they said to me? They said the guys outnumber the women now.
But isn't the 304 trying to get money?
It's become what every man seems to want.
But that has
they don't. I don't know nobody who wants the 304.
I know plenty.
That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. What I'm saying is traditionally women have always went after the guy that women wanted, not the 304. You don't get no props for getting the 304.
That's what I was.
But nowadays you do get props for getting the 304.
Exactly.
Let's just be honest, brothers. Many men love whores. Just look at how we praise the whores in Hollywood. Look at how we praise these whores in our own community. Look how much attention we give to these scantily clad dressed women who have no discretion in their choice of apparel. Look at how much men support the porn industry. Our love for sex as men is so predictable that corporations know how to stimulate our senses to get us to purchase their product or service. We have lowered our standards to the point where our daughters are losing their virginity and joining the community of whores and sluts. And because we as men loved whores for so long and created a culture of whoredom, we are now reaping the consequences of that whorish behavior. You wanted free sex in the 1960s? You wanted sex with no strings attached? Of course, the consequences of such lewd behavior is babies. But some did not want these babies, which gave rise to contraceptives and eventually abortion for those who were able to afford it. We as men created a culture where bastard babies are the norm, and the whores that many men were messing around with are getting the courts involved. But all of these things are now happening because we as men created a whorish society. And I know many men want to join these men's groups and they want to talk about the problems of the feminist movement and the biasness of the court system and how they support women more than men. But let's be honest, brothers, many men love whores. They love jumping from women to women. It did not bother us that the women we were with was sexually involved with 7 other men. It did not bother us that the women we was with had 3 babies with other men. It did not bother us. And now we want to complain about the whirlwind that we are currently inheriting from our own foolish behavior? We must understand, brothers, that it started with our love for whores. Well then, if the problem started with our love for whores, then part of the solution is we need to begin leaving whores alone. We must stop loving whores. You need to make a commitment in your life that you will leave whores alone. And the only way that you will leave whores alone, brothers, is that you must stop being a whore yourself. But as long as you are a whore yourself, as long as you remain to be a player, as long as you have no sexual sobriety, as long as you have no sexual responsibility, then you will forever feed this whorish culture. You need treatment, brothers, because a woman cannot be a whore without your support.
That shit sound like a damn horror movie.
Hey, all the pronouns was killing me. They, them, those.
We about halfway done. I want you guys to ponder on the question, man. Let's go ahead and talk to Soul Toucher. He's been sitting very patiently up there. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you, man. What do you think about the video you've seen so far? The question for the floor, and anything you want to chime in, sir.
The video was very interesting.
Very.
I don't even know where to start because there's too much to unpack with that video. But as far as the question, is the modern woman's behavior ultimately the fault of men? It depends on where you're looking at it from. Let's just say there's no man in the household, and this young lady from whatever age that she's grown is holding that crutch with her. Maybe it's a man's fault, maybe it's not. But at the end of the day, she has to find her way through life and not be that way. Hypersexuality, I don't know. If she runs across a good ride and she's always chasing a good ride, then maybe it's a man's fault because she got that good ride and she's always chasing it. I don't know.
Holy shit.
as far as rebellious, I personally do not see how I can make a woman rebellious to the point where she's out there like that, unless, you know, we are going back and forth for a considerable amount of time and I am toying with her mentally and emotionally, then I can see her being rebellious. As far as anti-family, I think that's a family issue that needs to be resolved. And that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you for chiming in, sir. Great Pill, you up next, man. What you got?
Yeah, I agree with the other brother at the bottom. It was a lot. I think we should just skipped on. I think it was 3 parts. It was what Angry Man said, and there was another one where him and the other gentleman was speaking to the woman. I think her name was Leek, and then this cryptic, whatever the crap, this voice was going on saying,
yeah, with the music in the back. Yep.
Yeah, but it was fine. It triggered me. So I'll go with the one with I think Leek was having a conversion with Angerman and the other gentleman. Yeah, it do be got because they said just clearly like no, like men don't be sleep with whores like we do. We're pretty much around the same age. So it was like back in the day, and we might not even know the person a whore. I use a gentleman here on the platform. Like you could be cross state over, and that whore can move over to my state, and I'll mess around with her. But you know she's a whore because she's a whore in your town, but I didn't know that. But I slept with a whore. So that's one example. 2, she might be whore just next door, and I just don't care, and I just ignore it. Shout out to the Simps out there. She can still be a whore. So that's another example. So yeah, and some of us guys, we even brag about the whore. Yeah, man, I got this bad one. Why? Because none of the times we probably ain't got no nut in 3 months, 6 months of the year, and that lucky one just came across, and I got that one banger that night. Shout out to the clubs. Shout out to strip bars. Shout out to whatever. So that's another one. So men have slept with whores, sometimes unaware, sometimes aware, and some just don't care. We just want bragging rights. That's just one. To the creepy voice, he said, men leave whores alone. Unfortunately, men love whores. That's pretty much a thing. Sometimes some men say, hey, my wife is my whore. She's not doing anything outside when I met her before. It is a thing. So you can't, I don't know. That is pretty much what I got. I'm trying to take notes as fast as I can.
Got you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Blacko, it's on you, Black.
Talking about me, said Black TV.
Yes, indeed, Black TV.
First of all, this image is insane, bro. Like,
let's
talk about that. Like, the woman that even agreed to take this picture is
just pings on the wall, my nigga.
Hey, Black.
It looked like an episode of Saw.
Lord. Hey, Black. Hey, Black. Was it a man who convinced her to take that picture? Right? Was it a man that turned her into a model? So
I don't know. She got paid.
Well, what does it make you if you have sex with different women?
A slut maker.
Hey, I promise she got paid for doing it, and I ain't mad at her.
God damn it.
That's the only way she would take that picture in there.
See?
But I mean, what Angry Man said in the Jigsaw voice, bro, like
Jigs.
Man, it's like as a man, if I'm able to pull a lot of hoes when I'm younger, it's not gonna be no problem when I'm 40 to pull another hoe because it's gonna be off of instinct and me training myself on how to get women like that. So I would just say that majority of the time, like if I'm of age like I am, it's not gonna be no problem pulling a woman. So I don't know what the hell Angry Man was talking about. So I mean that's all I got to say about that, man. Like,
okay. What about the question? Is the modern woman's behavior ultimately the fault of men, sir?
No. I will actually say no. Okay. Because like I will blame social media, if anything, because of that. Just off of it, because it enhanced them to get a certain type of attention, and just all kinds of different factors.
Okay. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Hey,
Nino, you up next, my brother. What do you think about the question and the video and anything you want to chime in so far, sir?
I don't know. I've been thinking it's like men have always, like they say, men like hoes. I don't think it's that. I think men like sex. Men like the woman's body, and men have always like that. We haven't changed. You know, The oldest profession is a woman selling her ass to a man who's willing to pay money for it. So that hasn't changed. Men have always liked sex and looking at women. That's what we are. You know what I'm saying? What has changed is women have been fighting for, what is it, sexual liberty? Wasn't they fighting for that? You know what I'm saying? They getting into Hollywood more. They've been, you know what I'm saying? They fighting for they doing slut walks and stuff like that. So I don't think you can put that blame on us. The men have been the same as the women who are freely taking advantage of how we are, in my opinion. That's the way I look at it.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Sir, it's on you, Severe. What you think, man, about the video, about the question, and anything you want to chime in, sir?
Oh man, I've been trying to get my thoughts together. Let me try to put the smoke in the air.
Come on,
Is
man.
modern women's behavior hypersexual, rebellious, anti-family, ultimate the men's fault? No. Let's break it down real quick, Smoke Dog style. Hypersexual. Like the homie Nino said, men are out to conquer. That's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing since the thing of time. Getting women is part of the forte. There's a saying that a man can go out, get drunk as hell, and still be respected. A woman can do the same thing and be shamed for it. Just the same way as this. A man can have sex and do his thing and still be probably called a slut maker, whatever you want to call it. A woman has always been called a 304, plain and simple. So us having sex and y'all having sex does not, how you say, for us, it's not hypersexual. Y'all, we concentrate on our sexuality, and y'all do the same thing. We don't put no gun to your head and tell you to do this with this person. We have to control our sexual urges just like you. But if you don't, that's on you. Again, it goes right back to accountability, rebelliousness. We got podcasts, we got people, men and women, saying you shouldn't do this. It's not right for the community. It's not right for yourself. It's not right for anybody involved. But what they say, you can't tell me what to do. They call women pick-me's, this, that, and the other. They got names for men. That's being rebellious, that you don't want to do something positive for the community and for the people. So we ain't got no problem with that, but that's on you. Anti-family. Women throw their nose up of having a family nowadays. Like I said, they calling women pick-me's. They calling wives pick-me's. When a wife was a wife, a man was a man. Is it ultimately the man's fault? Hell no.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Conrad, it's on you, man. Thank you for patiently waiting, man. What's your thoughts on the question, on the video, and anything else you want to add?
Well, first of all, this video, this pic where we're at right now is just wild, but it pretty much, if we're being honest, it sums up the whole of since 75. It sums it all up until now, and it's just going to keep getting worse. Why? Because when you give people access to certain types of drugs without responsibility of taking accountability, they gonna do what they gonna do. So it is what it is as to that picture, but that's wild. Between that and the X-Files voice, that's wild. Modern women's behavior, it's their responsibility to atone or accept any consequences of their actions. You are not going to hold a man accountable for what Delilah decided to go out and do behind King Ahab's back. I'm not even going to try and answer for that. That's their hypersexuality. Again, it's their choice. Even if you got introduced to something as a young teenager, in your 20s, in your 30s, you got your heart broken. The same way you can decide to pay your bill or not, the same way you can decide to not be extrally overtly promiscuous. Anti-family. I mean, that's just trauma bonding, right? Somebody's grandma didn't like what they went through. They related to this little girl who probably shouldn't had no business hearing this information. Just the same way the grandma, the auntie, the woman down the street, the woman in the corner store didn't have no business telling you, don't get married, don't submit, don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. It's ultimately a bunch of family, a bunch of trauma bonding that I believe, has pushed women to be anti-family. Aside from settling with men that, you know, didn't have any intention of providing anything for them, and again, it's just a bunch of trauma bonding. Is it men's fault? Again, somewhere down the line, we become contributors. I think that is true. But to when I think back on my own life, when I wanted to change an action and I changed that action, even if it was, especially if it wasn't conducive to me getting somewhere in the future, I made that change. I accepted that I wasted my time, or I was a loser, or I was a degenerate, and I made the change. I accepted where I was, and I said, I'm not going to be that way no more. And it's up to me to hold myself accountable and be integral to my word. So if women want to be seen classy and be women and be respected and revered, it's up to them to walk away from Jezebel-like actions. It is what it is.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Uncle Rick, it's on you, bro. What you got, man?
God dang. Shout out to the fellas, man. This picture's diabolical. I gotta say it, man.
I know, man.
Hey, but at least she kept count. At least she kept count. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
Right.
That's a good one. That's a good
I don't
one.
know. It depends. I don't know.
Crazy. A video, man. As far as the question, sure, it's our fault, right? Yeah, sure, right. Everything that's bad that they go through is our fault, but everything they do that's positive is totally them.
Speak on it.
Right? Single mother raised a kid to be successful, right? Oh, greatest mama in the world, right? Kid come out bad, it's the daddy fault because the daddy wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Right? We whoremonger as shit. Okay, hey, how many of y'all like Gucci?
Who the hell's
Gucci, man, or the clothing?
No, the clothing.
Oh, not really.
No.
Right, but
Never owned one in my life.
Right, thanks.
Me either.
It was rhetorical. It's like so.
Fair enough.
God damn it, Rick.
Fair.
Like so like if Gucci didn't exist, would people wear Gucci?
No.
No.
I mean, if Gucci didn't exist, would people be standing in line or no? Why we keep trying to redefine nature?
Like, what you mean? If Gucci didn't exist, well, nobody be wearing it.
Exactly.
That's his
right.
point.
So if pussy didn't exist, it wouldn't get fucked. It's meant to get fucked. It's called a pussy.
Right. That's the only way a woman can be a whore.
I
Stop this.
Hold on.
I didn't interrupt none of you niggas.
My bad, Rick. But goddamn, Rick. Goddamn, Rick.
I didn't interrupt none of you niggas. Now let's keep it going, right?
You got it on. You got it.
Right.
Oh man.
So when we try, especially the sexuality part, guys, everything else, you know, and let me tell y'all something, right? I'm responsible, but it's not my fucking fault.
That's a good point.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm responsible for you. I'm the motherfucker who gotta fix it, but it's not my fault. Y'all got kids, don't you?
Yes.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
So especially with the sexual, listen to what I'm saying, fellas. And this is where we got to come to a common ground as men, because this is where shit be switching up with us, because we don't have a fundamental understanding of what the fuck is what, right? The one thing a woman's supposed to be responsible for is her pussy. The one thing. Because if you a dude and listen to what I'm saying. If you're not married, or if you ever wanted to be married, y'all know what I'm talking about. If the one came around and she was right, you going, right? Right? I'm talking about she not a lie, right? She's not a lie. The bullshit is the shit you can put up with. You understand what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
Right? You grabbing her, right? And as a man with your resources and what everybody want to talk about, their purpose, and I ain't even saying that shit. I'm saying within your power as a fucking man, right? When you had that woman, what else you got to worry about?
Nothing.
Let's keep it fucking honest, right? What to do with her downtime? You know what I'm saying? What wine she gonna drink at fucking dinner? Y'all see what I'm saying? The bitches at work that's talking shit, right? So y'all telling me, right? She not responsible for the one thing she ain't got a fucking. It's the one thing she's supposed to worry about as a woman. It's her pussy, right? She know when it's stinking, it's leaking shit, and she got whatever the fuck, right?
God damn it!
I'm asking y'all as men.
I word it different. I say you have the most information, but I'm
Right.
pretty much conveying the same thing. They have a lot of information about themselves, right?
Right. I'm asking y'all as men, right? If you ain't no fucking pervert, you ain't no diddy shit, ain't no girl, you ain't have to wrestle no girl out no box.
Right. And shit, if you had a silver tongue, that was already said.
Yeah.
If you had
right.
a spitting game down there, pause.
Right. So when we try when we try to take on, we're taking on the one real road that they got two, right? But pussy leads to the real road they hear, which is to bear children and be up under a man and rear them children up under a pattern, right? So they contribute to a society as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything else I can look at like, maybe, you know what I'm saying, I peeped wrong or I didn't bring her up right. You see what I'm saying? Right? But it's her pussy, dog.
Right.
It's her pussy. We
go.
gotta stop this shit. If she fucks who she wants. Yeah, and this is what's so crazy to me. Motherfuckers that have a wife or a girl be like, it's just your turn. Y'all telling her she can fuck who she fuck when she want to fuck when she fuck, right? That's what y'all saying, right? When it really comes down to it.
I mean, and when somebody pee in her mouth, they be like, she's no good, and I'm like, nigga, it was just your turn, right? What you mad for?
This shit don't make no sense to me, because how is y'all as men operating with a female, bruh? You ain't no story you can sell me on that shit. You understand what I'm saying?
I got a question though. So
Sure.
Rick, what about the women? And there's some men too that say, hey, I don't want kids at all. I'd rather just be with that one person.
Say again.
What about the men and women that say they don't want kids at all? Because there's women that say they don't want kids and they just fine with just being with that one person.
I mean, we got free will, right? It's the problem. It's the reason why we in the problems we in now, right? You know what I'm saying? God damn it, God felt he knew what we needed. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what a person, I don't give a fuck. But to me, if you asking in my opinion, a woman that can bear children and don't is a waste to me. She's a waste to me.
Fair enough.
Let's go.
Why are you here? Why are you here? Why are y'all here? Why are we here? You are here to spread your DNA down the line, correct? Or you just here for a good time?
We just here to procreate.
I'm asking, as men, are you just here for a good time, right? Because then we can really go into really what the problem is that you just a selfish motherfucker, and you know what I'm saying? You want to have all your time on this planet to yourself because you don't believe it's nothing after this, right?
Well, if we're talking about free will, I mean, if that's what that person want to do, so be it.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't knock nobody hustle, but again, the problem is us as a community and men, we don't have a baseline of understanding for everybody for nothing. There's no fucking manual, bro.
True.
There's no code of ethics.
None whatsoever. No rules of honor, nothing. As men. Right? And what they don't understand is that at the end of the day, right, we the ones who protect them.
Facts.
We hear you, Rick.
Do we get to a place where, let's say, this code of ethics, a man's charter of rights and responsibilities, we establish that? Do we get back to saying, said woman, said hoe presents herself? Do we look at her and tell her to go put down those other men and go clean her ways and do this no more? Do we get to that point? Because that's ultimately
you never will. You never will, because that's not how nature intended. Hoes are here for a reason, right? Everything has a fucking purpose. The problem is that when we try to make a hoe Okay. Let me give y'all the example. The Shannon Sharp shit, right?
Yeah.
I'm coming to
And
you,
what-
GP, next.
And what's the other chick name? The Zion Wilson shit, right?
Yeah.
Mariah Mills. Goose.
Mariah something.
Right, Mariah Mills. Body disgusting. Ugh.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. When did it become that a hoe's word becomes believable? When the fuck did that happen?
Me too.
I mean, when they begin validating themselves through sex, and we start to kind of second and validate
what you just said?
that
Could you repeat
validation.
what you just said, sir?
They validate themselves through sex.
They validate themselves,
and we second the motion. But GP, I want to hear what you got to say.
No, I agree with them. Let them rock out. I'm agreeing
You
with
got
them
it, Uncle.
so far.
You got it, Uncle. It's on you.
My bad for the rant, y'all.
No, you're good. I appreciate it.
I want to say
No,
something.
go ahead, Uncle. Go ahead.
Yep, what y'all got, fellas? Come on, man. Let's go.
I want to say something real quick. So back to the nature conversation, because I had one thing I was going to say, but on to the nature conversation, and this may ruffle some women's feathers, I'm pretty sure, but it doesn't matter because it's still a fact. On nature, a woman get her menses, 11 or 12, maybe, something like that. And from that point, she can have a child. If a woman was to have a child every year of her life, let's say she lived to 60 years old, and since her menses at 12, she could possibly have, 48 children? A man can have 48 children in a month if he wanted to.
Well, not in a month, but 9 months.
No, not.
I want to hear where you're going with this, Black. I want to hear where you're going with this one. Come on,
in a
Kylo.
9-month span, if he impregnated 48 women, he definitely could have 48 children in a month. And he got 48 children the next month and 48 children the next month. So I'm saying, I'm talking about, we having an intellectual conversation, but we keep forgetting that we also creatures, just like the ant, just like the elephant, just like the lion. But we have thought. God gave us thought, and we can talk and we can communicate. But if you strip all the communication away, just take the intellect and say we're creatures, and we are created to produce with women, and they produce less. So this sexual conversation, we are naturally, we see sex in a different light. That's why a man could actually love his wife, love his job, love his neighborhood, love his community, go to a trip in Chicago, be at the bar, see a bartender, she hot, bust her down, and go right back to his life like nothing ever happened. You know what I'm saying? Women have emotions.
Why Chicago though?
I don't know.
Wrong place.
Chicago got to go.
I'm just saying. I mean, it's like literally we're two different creatures. Like we are man and woman, but like our sexual bandwidth is completely different. The problem becomes like they try to match, like at one point, and I said, I'm telling you, they're gonna come for me. But at one point, they weren't working. All of this newfound energy is in the last 50 years. Actually, I'll say less than that because of the 80s, the women's liberation. We're talking about Me Too. Before there was Me Too, there was Women's Lib. And when Women's Lib is when all of the working class women and the black woman came up and she was following the white woman and the black man. And then she surpassed us all. She surpassed some of the white women and the black man, you know what I'm saying? But this sexual freedom came from all of the uncles and the grandfathers that had multiple families around the corner and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to match that because now they boss and that's affiliated with being a boss to you being able to do what a man was doing. But the reality is you can't do what a man can do because at the end of the day, the two symbols itself, the penis and the vagina, one of them is like generative, one of them is receiving. So what I do on the outside of my house is one thing, but what I do on the inside of my house is something completely different. It's like me going, like somebody could egg my house on the outside and I could just go outside and wash it, but it don't change the inside of me at all. Women be trying to match masculine energy, but at the same time, you can't just open your doors to your neighborhood and say, everybody just come in here and just do what you want to do. Trash the walls, do whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like That's why it's kind of asinine for women to keep trying to match this energy. But then we calling that a hoe. So it's actually a little crazy for women to do that. So, but I digress.
I appreciate you, Kylo, and I'm coming back to you after I finish the video. But we got another question, and shout out to everybody that's double streaming right now. Sis sent me a message. She want everybody to in there double stream and encourage your viewers to come on over and check us out over here on Red Lipstick Vibes, where the vibe is always positive. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all, and I'm gonna go ahead and get to these super chats. Before I do that, though, fellas, you got another question. Did men abandoning the home create the city girl mindset? I want you guys to ponder on that. God damn it. Maybe not. Let's go ahead. Let's go.